Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Esoteric Ramblings. I'm Jesse Arnold, and today is Monday Madness F9. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Monday Madness, and this week is Movie Review Monday Madness. And the movie of this week is F9, The Fast Saga. This will be the 10th entry into the Fast and Furious world, if you count Hobbs and Shaw, and which I do. And I'll give some spoilers later with a card, but for now I'll just start off with what we've seen in trailers, and just the general performance of the movie. I know I get a lot of grief from my friends and people I talk to because almost no one I hang out with watches these movies, and I don't know why I'm into them so much. I'm not a car person. I drive a almost 15-year-old Honda CRV, and older than 15-year-old Honda CRV. Anyway, and it's got all sorts of problems. Like I'm not a car person. I don't enjoy personally doing it. I don't understand the jargon, for the most part, and I've never been a car person. I remember I had a Lamborghini Trapper Keeper in 4th grade for some reason, and that's probably the most like car I've ever been, unless it was Transformers. Yeah. So that said, I don't know what it is about these movies. It's the action of it, and I'm going to be completely honest here. Over the 20 years or so that these movies have been coming out, which is crazy to think about, I think I've seen most of them. This is not meant to sound as pathetic as it does in my head, but I've seen most of them on my own because I was living on my own this summer. The first one came out. I went and saw it and had a blast. And I was driving a Aerostar minivan at the time, so it just never made me want to get into that car culture. And it's so, that whole concept of street racing and all that from the first one is so foreign of a desire for me. Like even now, sometimes I'm on the line at a stoplight and someone's like revs their engine, not necessarily at me, but then they just like peel out, and I'm just like, good for you, dude. Like, congratulations. Or there's times like I just hit the gas and go, and I feel like sometimes there's smaller sport cars next to me that feel like I took off too fast and they've got to pass me. That might just be my imagination, but yeah, so it's just, there's something in the action of it, the thrill, the excitement, and they are, like, to me, these are my ultimate kind of, like, popcorn movies. And a lot of people say that about the Marvel movies or other things. Like, these, I don't know, I don't think these are supposed to be 100% believable. I mean, the first one was a bit of a stretch with the cars going under the tractor trailers as they were, because the tractor trailers were clearly rigged to be taller, and they have gotten more and more and more absolutely batshit insane with every entry, as far as like the stunts they pull off and believability. And if you've seen the trailer for this one, you've seen the bit with Dom, aka Vin Diesel, using his car, like getting it tangled up in some cable and like swing like Spider-Man across like an island. Believe it or not, that is not the craziest thing they do in this movie. But I think the thing that works for these movies is that for as popcorn and just action adventure, you don't need to be invested in the reality of some of it. Is I think all of the cast, like these movies have great casts in them. They deliver fantastic. They all believe what they're doing, and for me, the characters, and even when they address some of the weird stuff, which they do in this one, they do it in a way that's believable enough for me to buy it, at least in the world of this movie. I mean, in the Ninja Turtles movies, there's 4 mutated talking turtles who are teenagers that know the life of ninja and how to fight and everything. And because April and Casey and everyone else accepts it, and because the Jim Henson designs on those suits were so fantastic, you as the audience can accept it. And while I can't accept the believability of the stunts in the real world, I do in this world because they keep progressing to weirder and weirder things. So, yeah, they're ridiculous. Yeah, I know everybody likes to make fun of Dom saying stuff about family, but that to me is actually the heart of these movies. And yeah, and I think that this movie really captures that because they do introduce a new family member, which again, I don't think that's a spoiler. That's from the trailer. Another brother for Dom and Letty, or Dom and Mia rather, in John Cena's character, and just the tension there, and knowing that Vin Diesel's character Dom is so much about family. We're 20 years into this franchise, 10 movies, and we've never encountered this brother before. And I think they do a really great job of setting that up and why. There's, again, I think the performances are great. Like Vin Diesel, I mean, his performance as Dom is like the backbone of these movies. I think Michelle Rodriguez as Letty is great. It's always nice to see Jordana Brewster back as Mia. Then you've got Ludacris and Tyrese as Roman, and I'm blanking on Ludacris's name. And then Natalie Emmanuel is back as Ramsey, which is fun just seeing these characters progress and grow. Now, granted, they're not huge, like Shakespearean arcs for any of these characters or anything, but it's just a lot of fun to see them and their behavior and what changes, what doesn't change. And it just feels like after 20 years of seeing these characters, it's almost like seeing friends that like getting into shenanigans again. And that's what I enjoy about these movies. So with that, I think I'll move on into my spoilers now. So here's my spoiler card. All right, let's get into some of the nuts and bolts of this movie. Pun heavily intended. So yeah, we get introduced to Dom's younger brother, Jacob, played by John Cena, and the tension between them as a family is really interesting. And one of the things they do with this movie I think is really cool is they maybe do it a little too much, but they do some flashbacks to their younger years before the events of the original movie. I think it was 1989. Their dad's out on the racetrack, just doing, I don't think it's NASCAR, but it's like just a regular speed raceway place. And there's a tragedy and things happen between them. And as you go through the movie, you learn why Dom and Jacob have separated as brothers and basically have like disavowed one another. And John Cena, Jacob, his character has like fallen into the spy world and all this stuff that Dom has been in lately, much earlier in his path than Dom. And actually him being in that world is what led Kurt Russell's character, Mr. Nobody, to Dom and his crew to begin with. So it's fun getting a little of this stuff fleshed out, and they do some really great explanations, and some of it is totally like retconning thing. The trailer also gave away that Han is back, which, how they did that, I wasn't sure how they were going to explain it, and it's such a simple illusion trick in the backstory that they set up that it works. Again, they deliver it in such a way that because the characters accept it and don't buck at it, that I'm able to accept it and go along with it. And plus, it's really cool just to see Han again. I liked his character and it was really disappointing when he died. And we get to see some other characters. We see, is it Sean? Lucas Black's character is back from Tokyo Drift. He and the other two guys, I'm blanking on their names here. Shad Moss's Twinkie and the other guy's not there. Where is he? I don't see him in the cast. Jason Tobin as Earl. So this is really fun to see them back and in a different situation and where their characters are at. Because when we see them in, how is it, Fast Five, whichever one it is, where you see Dom and them connect with him, it's right after Han's death. So even though that was years later, it was supposed to be right after the events of Tokyo Drift. So now, they're all older. He's not like a high school kid anymore, even though he definitely wasn't a high school kid in that movie. They've let him lean into that. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see them come back. It's fun to have Han back. For a 2.5 hour movie, I did feel a little bit that I was like, all right, how much more are they going to do with this? Because they just kept adding like set pieces and set pieces and set pieces. And, but I really liked it. They have, Charlize Theron is back as Cypher, which we knew was coming. And there's all that tension, and it's just, I think it's a really well filmed movie, even though the stunts are ridiculous. Like, I laughed out loud several times, but so were other people in the audience. I think they know the stunts are, like, I think the makers of the film know the stunts are that big, so instead of just trying to, like, wow us, they're just leaning into the sheer absurdity of it. And like, there's this whole sequence with magnets. Like, there's a lot of stuff with magnets in this movie. Yes, a couple of them go to space. Roman and Taj, that's Ludacris's name, Taj, they go to space, and it's the most ridiculous thing in the world, but it works. It doesn't work, I'm sure. I mean, there's one line they throw in there to, like, be the space explanations to why they can be in space, and I'm like, all right, they put the line in, that's good enough for me, even if I know that's probably not enough to make it actually work in real life. They at least attempted to put an explanation in, so I'll accept it. Yeah, all in all, at the end of the day, it was a fun action movie. Absolutely ludicrous and ridiculous in the stunts and some of the plot lines, and just the sheer destruction they cause wherever they go. But it was fun. If you enjoy any of the Fast and Furious movies, I do recommend seeing this. They really cranked it to 11 on this one, and I'm not sure how much farther we can go in this world, but I'll keep showing up as long as the cast keeps coming back. And yeah, so that's it. Had a lot of fun watching F9. And there's a nice little, I will say this, there's a nice little nod to Paul Walker. We don't see him. They don't force another CGI re-rendering of him on us, but there's a moment. It's the very last scene of the movie. They're doing the whole thing where they're having the cookout in the backyard, and they sit down. They're about to say grace, and he's like, "Hold up, we got an empty seat." And Mia says, "Oh, he's on his way." And you see this little blue souped-up coupe come flying up the driveway. Definitely very reminiscent of Brian's original, or one of his original cars from the first movie. So it was just nice to see the acknowledgement of him. And they talked about him as to why he's not there in this movie. And seeing as it's very centered around Dom and Jacob and Mia's family relationship, it works that he's not there. So, yeah, I guess that's it. I'm going to wrap it up there and head off to work. So thanks for watching. If you are enjoying these videos, please hit that like and subscribe button. I post my Monday Madnesses every week. It'll either be toy or some sort of collection review on Monday, or a movie review. I'm trying to do those every other week. Wednesdays, I do my comic haul rundowns, and Fridays are doing my show reviews for the week, which are currently Loki and The Bad Batch from Disney+. So I'm trying to get these all posting at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, so I can kind of set a standard schedule there. I did do a new podcast with my buddies over at Legends of Grayskull podcast. I'll try to put a link for them in the description here. Legends of Grayskull podcast. Every now and then they do one they call OffWorld, where they go off topic from Masters of the Universe and She-Ra stuff. And this week we talked about the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, which is near and dear to my heart. So I will keep you posted on when that goes live, when you can watch that. They do post a video version here on YouTube, and then wherever their podcasts go, you can check them out. So if you are into He-Man and Masters of the Universe stuff, I'd highly recommend checking out the Legends of Grayskull podcast from my friends Sean and Matt. All right, that's it. I'm going to head out. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And as always, ramble on.